hummingbird.
Oh, wow.
He beat us to some of the new varieties here at Kieft Seed during the 2015 California Spring Trials. Obviously, he knows what's cool because he's checking out one of the new varieties from Kieft. And we might as well take a look right at that one because I think it's the most striking of their introductions. It's a lobelia hybrid called Starship. And last year they introduced Scarlet, and now they've got Deep Rose.
Beautiful color.
Absolutely striking, stunning plant. I wanted to make sure I got the right zone. It's zone 6. That means I can't do it in Chicago. You might be able to do it in Boston.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But beautiful plant.
Well branching.
And I think this would be great in combos. In fact, we'll take a look at those in a little bit. You obviously said that the hummingbirds love them. And it's a heat tolerant plant. Not for cool weather growers. This is a high heat plant.
Exactly.
Right next to it is a Verbena called Santos. It's a rigida type. And the problem with these is generally seed quality. But they've solved that problem through the process of priming, like they do on pansies. This is Zone 7 perennial.
It's great for the landscape in the south.
And it's long flowering, and it likes the heat as well.
And nice mildew tolerance too.
Yeah. Now let's step down a little further to something a little more compact here, and this is Rapido Blue Campanula. We talked in one of the other videos about using plants with multiple purposes to attract new or reluctant gardeners. This would be a good one because it can serve as a potted plant in the house for a while, a regular garden plant,
and also a perennial.
Or a perennial, right? So that's a Rapido in blue and in white. And then last but hardly least is a new lavender,
Spanish lavender,
a stoechas type Spanish lavender called Bandera Purple.
Bandera means flag in Spanish.
You know, I had to ask about that, but that's pretty cool. And the key with this one is it's a seed lavender with a vegetative habit. It's a Zone 7 perennial, 11 to 14 weeks. It's pretty fast. And it's for the cool season. Early
and it
on
just keeps flowering too. And lots of secondary growth, lots of secondary flowering.
Yeah. Now, what could you do with some of these kinds of things? Well, you can just pop them out in your perennial collection like everybody does, or take a look over here. You can do some of the cool stuff they've done, which is combinations. And they showed these for the first time last year. Seed perennials planted up in combinations, and they make just such great, the textures and the colors are so different than what you get out of, you know, the sort of the typical the annual combination.
And they can really get a premium price for them too.
And you can, and they've added 3 new ones this year through the use of the lobelia, for instance. This is called Paris in Springtime. Here's one called Valley of the Kings that's got some English lavender along with the lobelia. And then lastly, we've got one down here that they call Jewels of Cleopatra with some dianthus and some heuchera, and again the lobelia. So that's just a few of the really nice seed perennial items they've got here at Kieft at the 2015 California Spring Trials. Oh, look, the hummingbird's back.